Yo, this is Steve Bloom, and you're watching Moana Nui Podcast. We'll be starting soon. Don't go anywhere.
All right, welcome back, everybody, from MomoCon, from both MomoCon's audience and Moana Nui. We are back with our next guest. I love Kim Possible a lot, who is with us. So we're very excited to have you with us. So, of course, I know people that don't know you yet. They're going to ask, okay, her name is what? How did you come up with the name I Love Kim Possible a lot to go by?
Lots of regrets. Sorry, that's always my intro joke. But really, I've had it since I was 14. And when I started making content, I just wanted to stick with it. Like, it's something that is still relevant in my life. As I do these conventions, it's, how I got into television animation or how my interest peaked in it. And it's also something people remember, even though it sounds very, very stupid, because it's just like different, I guess. Okay. So, I started doing My Little Pony stuff and I still had that name and, people never really questioned it. And now it's nice. So I've considered rebranding, but, I really enjoy and still enjoy Kim Possible a lot. So I kept it.
Nice. What made you create your YouTube channel, I Love Kim Possible a lot?
Well, like I said, I started making content around the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fan base. I was really intrigued by the character of Discord from My Little Pony. So even at my booth, there's still little Discord Easter eggs around, and a lot of my pony specific stuff that still lingers has Discord. And if you don't know My Little Pony, he's like a dragon kind of type thing. He's made a bunch of different parts. So there was a part in early My Little Pony around season 3 where they reformed him as a villain, and that kind of made my brain tick as far as like my comparison. At the time, he was kind of like the Joker of the My Little Pony villains, and I wanted to kind of study him in that dynamic, kind of like I won't spoil it, obviously, but kind of like the new Spider-Man movie, how that feels like really fresh in a way that feels like fan fiction, but like in a good way, in a positive way. And it's like, I can't believe they actually did this kind of way. Yeah. So then I got super obsessed with it. And then I eventually started making content around it. And then things kind of blew up from there.
Okay, awesome. Well, you are famous for your reviews and when you analyze about the different content with your videos. How have it allowed you to connect more with your audience and continue to grow your numbers?
I really love doing these kind of things. As I started to do more general animation content, not specifically My Little Pony, I'm starting to expand from just My Little Pony specific conventions, which, if you don't know, those exist.
Yeah, they do.
They, which is weird because for people who don't know them, it's weird to think of one convention for one specific show. Like, all these anime conventions are around like a bunch of different animes that are coming out, but this is one specific thing that's not even an anime. So similar with the name, I repeat the question. Sorry,
that's okay. I was just saying, with you doing these videos, how has it allowed you to connect more with your audience and grow your numbers?
Yeah, okay, I got it now. So professionally, I want to break into animation. I'm actually back going to school. I was in LA for about 2 years, and I'm seeing a lot of people struggle with the same things I have struggled with as far as how do I make a portfolio? What are people looking for on a professional level? I really like doing animation, but how do I push it to the next game? So not only can I engage with them in a fan way, because that's my lens, is engaging with people in a fan lens. Like, I always want to make content, but I'm okay with making fan content because that's what I'm passionate about. Everyone's just like, oh, make original content. It's like, yeah, but I don't have the same drive to make original content sometimes, or if you're making a fan project. So I encourage that kind of thing, but also allowing people to have an opportunity to, learn the mistakes that I've learned. And I talk about this sometimes on my podcast called Animation Communication, if you care about podcasts. But, you know, letting them kind of get from point A to point B, as well as, you know, it's okay to like the thing. Like sometimes professionals, like there's this stigma that is kind of not true as far as you're not allowed to draw fan art, which is stupid. You are allowed to draw fan art, but you have to like also know your basic, you know, anatomy principles and, you know, how to storyboard and those kind of things, which I think a lot of fan artists lack. They just kind of want to draw their specific style. So I really enjoy the conventions as a fan of things. I really like connecting with people, and am glad that I can serve a purpose as far as educating people, but also, you know, being a professional fangirl, quote unquote, if that's what you want to call it. So as a way to like encourage people to be passionate about the things.
Gotcha. Okay. And also, you mentioning My Little Pony, I saw that you were listed as a My Little Pony Generation 4 analyst. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah.
What that entails to carry such a mantle?
That's a lot of words. So generally, when you're consuming content, you're either consuming or critique content specifically. You're consuming reviews of, you know, maybe a movie came out, but analyzing has come to define basically taking bigger themes from episode to episode across like a series, and like analyzing a character, analyzing their character development, analyzing how that character breaks down specific situations in an episode or across several episodes. So it's more of a bigger scope understanding of how people are studying these characters and how they evolve versus just a review as far as is the thing good, is it bad. So I feel like that also helps people kind of come to terms when writers kind of mess up sometimes, finding a lens of the character or a way to kind of make it work, quote unquote. Like if there's an episode that's particularly bad, so, or there's a thing that happens that's not good or whatever. So think of it like if you're religious, it's like going to, you know, Bible school where you analyze themes and characters from that, but just in the context of a show or a fandom or what have you.
Okay. Now, also, for those that are new to the My Little Pony fandom, how do you become a brony?
So you missed the train about it. The train was about 5 or 6 years ago, but no, you can still like My Little Pony. Basically, it just kind of came around. It became a term for those who liked the new My Little Pony Friendship is Magic show, which everyone kind of expected to be kind of like a very toddler-oriented, like very talked down to the audience, but it ended up being really sophisticated to the point where it can grow this lore in a way that's not, you know, insulting the intelligence of the audience by doing so, which so much kids media seems to be doing these days, which we gotta fix, guys. So, you know, it ended up being like a meme on 4chan as far as people complaining about this thing. Lauren Faust, who developed it, was a Cartoon Network alumni who's worked on Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. So people assume that she was being basically paid to make this bad thing. And then people watched it ironically, and then they liked it, and then they told their friends to just give it a try, and then it kind of grew from that. If you want to learn about My Little Pony stuff, the Friendship is Magic, which is the brony centered part of the thing, is on Netflix for now. It should be on, I think, till the end of the month, all 8, well, minus season 9. There's 9 seasons. Yeah, it went on for a very long time. So there's 1 through 8, which you can start off with, and then if you're newer and don't want to do all that homework, they also released on Netflix a new a Generation 5, quote unquote, but it's still in the same continuity as Generation 4. It's just in the future. So that released like 4 or 5 months ago, called My Little Pony New Generation, and that's been getting really good reviews, and that's a 3D movie that will eventually spawn a series on Netflix, and people seem to be enjoying that from what I can tell, what I've picked up. But as far as my passions have always been around Discord as a character, And as a secondary character, he wasn't in the show that much anyway. But now that he's not, it's a new show entirely. I also talk about My Little Pony. I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting to see how this kind of group evolves. But as far as my creative passions, now that the character that I love isn't there anymore, it's hard for me to get excited the same way.
Okay, gotcha. So do they still have the My Little Pony conventions, even though the Generation 4 has officially, gone on?
Yeah, they do. There's definitely not as many. There was a one point like in 2015 or 16 where I was doing one pony convention a month, which was crazy to think about. But now there are a few. The one I recommend if you're interested in checking out that scene is Everfree Northwest in Seattle. It's in August usually. I usually do that one because I love the staff and they're very supportive. And I haven't had the best experience in the pony fandom, especially through my later years. So they've always been super supportive and making sure I'm safe. And as a girl on the internet, that is important. So, and that one's great. And so it's a mix of people who like the show or old school bronies and people that are kind of getting into it now, but they are smaller. I mean, the last Everfree I went to was significantly smaller, but that was also when COVID was first starting and everyone was kind of afraid of that. So I don't know how the demographic will change as hopefully COVID, knock on wood, hopefully COVID gets more relaxed. But they're still out there. You just gotta look for them a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay. And as we're getting ready to wrap up the end of this interview, can you tell those that are just being introduced to you how they can follow you on social media and watch your platform also?
Me plug my stuff? How, so if you're interested in just general animation, we don't do a lot of anime yet, but I'm open to doing anime reviews and stuff, but more Western, think Disney or Cartoon Network kind of things. So my YouTube channel is I don't know if people can see the tag, but it's ILOVEKIMPOSSIBLEALOT. You can find me on YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe. What I've been finding out is as I've kind of gauged to include more stuff, not essentially move on, but include more stuff, people are either really into the ponies and are upset that I'm not doing as much pony stuff, or people are discovering me for my new stuff and they're just like, why is there so much pony stuff on this channel? So, any support that you give is highly appreciated during this difficult transition, which should hopefully last maybe another year. We'll see. It's been 2 years, but also COVID. And then I'm on all the social media, but Twitter is where I'm more active. I don't really use my Instagram that much, but it's there if you want it. So on Twitter and Instagram, I'm at ILOVEKPOLOT. The Instagram for ILOVEKIMPOSSIBLEALOT was taken by someone who was pretending to be me, so that's why I'm ILOVEKPOLOT. It has since been discontinued, but and then I'm DeviantArt. If people like DeviantArt on ILOVEKIMPOSSIBLEALOT, again, I don't really use that much, but it's there, and I sometimes contact artists that way. But I'd say my main things are Twitter and YouTube, and then I have a TikTok, but that's mostly for promoting the YouTube videos at this time, called ILOVEKIMPOSSIBLEALOT. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, we thank you so much for coming to MomoCon and connecting with our audience here, and also connecting to those that couldn't make it, that are watching you virtually, to learn more about you. And definitely, can you tell anybody, also the audience that didn't get to meet you today but want to meet you in the future, what are your plans for 2022 for cons that you're going to?
I have not been booked for any cons for 2022 so far, so I wish I could tell you that, but hopefully things seem to be going well at Winterfest, so hopefully I will be back for regular summer MomoCon, which I haven't done at all ever for some reason. I don't know why, but for general conventions, again, I do travel, I do conventions often, so just keep an eye on Twitter. Mostly is where I put not only my convention announcements, but my schedules and where I'll be in the vendor hall and important things that you will need to stalk me, but in a professional, non-creepy way.
Exactly. And for those that are watching it from another convention and you want to book her, how do they contact you?
God. I'd love for you to book me. Oh my God. I love doing conventions because I love to interact with people and kind of meet people to help them on their artistic journeys. So my business email is ILOVEKIMPOSSIBLEALOTbusiness@gmail.com. That's an email that is directed towards me. So I sent out a lot of emails already, and people are just like, oh, it's too early. Oh, what's a YouTube? So, I get a lot of those, but feel free. I'm happy to work with you convention heads that are out there in the universe, because, I'm not a professional voice actor or anything, and I really appreciate the community aspect. So please feel free to approach me, ask me questions, ask me what kind of panels I can do for your convention, and I'm happy to share with you my hidden knowledge.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and thank you for being part of MomoCon's Winterfest. Definitely enjoy the rest of your con for today. And everyone, please go ahead and get your membership that is currently available for sale for MomoCon 2022 in May. So please go to the website at momocon.com to get your tickets for MomoCon. And then hopefully you'll be able to see I Love Kim Possible a lot right at MomoCon in May 2022. So thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye, MomoCon people.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, was a freedom then, when they annexed Hawaii and called it cedar lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. The work of all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. The work of all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.
I'm Steve Bloom. I've been a voice actor for more than 30 years, playing characters like Wolverine, Starscream, Tank Dempsey from Call of Duty.
With Bloomfox Studios, I've learned so much about myself.
Learning to breathe, to no fear, to getting ugly in front of the mic.
One of the biggest changes I've noticed, at least for me, is how much my confidence level has gone up.
Done an Eastern European video game, an e-commerce commercial, a documentary. If you're thinking about getting into voiceover, just do it. Jump in.